Remember, you do not have to pay extra for deposits. Cashing is free. Wondering how to cash in using AfriMoney? Here are a few easy steps. Go to the nearest AfriMoney agent.
Tell them how the conduct of a census. But you know what the Census Act talk about? It says, on the advice of the minister by order of a statutory instrument. Now that document we want to ask for first and foremost. Where the statutory instrument where they talk about the conduct of the midterm census? Because that document there, by law, for delineate the parameters as to what we get for follow in this midterm census. And we don't fear it. I mean, nobody know they dispute the value of data-driven development. I want to throw you to medium-term national development plan, page 189, where talk about how for strengthening statistical system. Nothing but midterm census knowledge. So the very essence of planning one they talk about, I don't even undermine them. Where is the priority for a midterm census coming from? It is not in the new direction manifesto. The very essence of this census now for planning. We have a midterm national development plan. In that entire plan, it talks about how the capacity of staff alone will be developed for able to situate insects within the framework of strengthening and be able to collect the kind of data we're needing at this country. It never spoke about a midterm census.
Now, I'd like to bring Dr. Bangua in.
In the first place, it has always been the desire of the government, where possible, the financial resources available for me to be able to do a midterm census. But this time, we get the opportunity for me to get input from the development partners, the World Bank, the UNFPA, the ECA, for come together, pool resources for me to conduct a midterm census. So we're so happy it's quite an opportunity. Now, 2021, we get major events. One would be the review of the current midterm national development plan, where will be launched. It will be, in the middle, next year by sometime August, September, it will be in the middle. And it's quite articulated in the plan that we need to do a midterm review. So with this opportunity, we'll get with different partners for supporting for conduct a midterm census. It's quite an opportunity. Census in terms of quality representativeness, if I pass, survey. So if you get the opportunity resources, because it's very expensive, you get to take advantage. So this is principally the reason why, this census being conducted. And thanks to development partners for coming. The World Bank is giving in, $6 million to this. So it's not really a small thing. Thank you.
All right, Abdul Fatoma. First of all, listening from the two government representatives, they're not able to convince the Sierra Leonean populace about the significance of the midterm. When we look about statistics claim, a cup of, almost all important thing of the life, Statistics issue, not a secrecy issue. It needs to be open and it needs participation. If we people then we want for count and this counting, now for the young development one, there's nothing wrong, for open up to them and make learners have the part of the process. And Ansumana, they come up clearly in a bit, not directly, and telling us it's because of the errors of 2015 census. And based on that, they want to correct, some of the errors in there. And when we get a midterm census, it seems like the census, when it happened, for the past, for the past 5 years. So that one they can fix in exactly with a justification and with the available data and say, now we are able as a nation to get the correct data, for develop, socio-economic demographic things there. So politically and, other public social services, we can now be able to determine how to distribute them. The development partners are interested in funding these things because they themselves are aware from citizens of this country and the very statistics don't make complaint over and over, say they have problem with the data. But the thing we're wrong in this, the hypocrite thing we're wrong in this data na in bringing this current administration in power and members of parliament then and councillors then, but they're not they talk about if we get an invalid census will bring them can, meaning the B1 in power is invalid.
All right. Reminiscing from last year's crucial conversation, we saw we host, familiar voices. In fact, two of them, they will be in the studio. Like Canton, I've been introduce Samuel and Sumana. We come out now, that's SL, Director for Communications, and also Marcella Samba, CCW come out now, CGG, and also New Now. Marcella, straight to you. I'll come to Sam later on for tell we as to, this announcement, second postponement, it came to you as a shock, as a surprise. You would expect them. Was it bound to happen?
Let me be honest to the people of Sierra Leone. Anybody really watch me this last 1 week, then they still say are psychologically and physically broken. I don't even get the energy for do media safe because it's like say, we're saying things over and over, nobody never listen. And it's high time we just decide as a country, say, let's things move in a good governance and people-centered, participatory, inclusive manner. When I sit up and I listen 1 year ago, I say, oh yeah, somebody been just don't listen. That's the way that fits. We up in a parliament. We don't darken with democratic standard again.
And you were specific, and you point to the statutory, instrument. You also point to the fact, say, a lot more engagement before happening. Attend the. I remember I was asking Sam a specific question about the proclamation. When president make the proclamation, what's happening? You don't become, it can be acted upon now based on that. But Marcella, you were specific then about those things.
It was very clear as to waiting the process for be. This has happened since 2004. 2004, national elections were only part of this. Unfortunately, 2015 will not be able to monitor the census, and I don't make them very clear because everybody know National Elections Watch. If we monitor the census, we get data. This means if I don't be clear, if I don't make sure say alternative information in a public way possible for cross validate. But unfortunately, we'll not get data. And unfortunately, again, one for tell the Sierra Leonean public say 2020 and now for column 2020, 2021, or Usten again for do the midterm census back, we'll not go get forget data. Because waiting, it's all about planning. We will not say government. Governance calendar from this 2018 to 2023, when at the regime in own time frame, we when a governance practitioner know all the activities that will they come up and the policy documents where they inform where they tell you about the activities then they really now the national development plan where they call the midterm national development plan in this case, the party in manifesto. Also, now very important, the institutions that when are critical governance institutions, the institutions of the state, their own strategic plan as well, and they inform we as to the calendar waiting they come up. But notwithstanding, His Excellency the President gets, the right for call census from time to time. So because we not be no say this they come up, we have no plan for get any strategy for monitor. So waiting we really when they call on Statistics Sierra Leone for do. Open up the process because you have a process already. Make it inclusive. I'm rightly remember during that program.
From almost a year ago, we even talked about making it inclusive.
Exactly. What's about the Statistics Council? Let them make sure say the Statistics Council form in such a way where people will appreciate the process. You know what to do? They say so in 2015. Why make all the NTR so they happen so? Waiting do people and question the data? Waiting do people and some man say, in fact, the stats Sierra Leone say 59% of the type 3 localities information already. Others say people and say, but I don't feel so not reach 7 million at this country. How we go reach 7 million? So other people say, we all locality, they're not being reached this. So there were so many issues. We say now as a country, can we learn from 2015 and make this process better? Because the problem we worry about now the fact that any government will come go say, will they change this census because this census is not being conducted well? Will they change this census because this census not being conducted well? Governance
but the resources go available for do that there because you want for alter within the existing government then been do because they conduct a census. Not just for declare, not just for get the intention for doing, but it's about the resources.
So that particular question, I remember you asked come back and say in terms of resources. And when we say even if the resources are available, planning is very important. And that tender will be still also August to December, determining too short for a census. The answer way I remember we statistics giving and say
the Ministry
go
of
digital.
Finance.
They say then they go digital, and digital not going for solve the problem.
All right.
But unfortunately, people let me feel say we are alarmists, and up till now they say we are alarmists, even when they don't postpone and twice.
All right. I'll come back to you, Marcella. Then we straight to Sam. Sam, you were going digital, but last week, Statistics Stats SL issue a statement to say that hey, listen, we want to inform the people of Sierra Leone, which for a lot of people. It could have been, done earlier. But issue a statement for say we go digital, but the tablets they not come yet. Yeah. We don't affect the process. Yeah. Are the tablets here now? They're ready, or they still not be delivered yet?
Okay, so we get 1,000 of the tablets available. 19,000 of the tablets still lay out in Kenya.
When are they? When will they get them?
We expect for get them within the shortest possible time. Now,
is there no time frame?
Yes. Now I go underscore the reasons why we did we did for so. All right. We don't get a very civil conversation. Marcella is a big sister and somebody we interact a lot, lots of forums, one-on-one we interact with the WhatsApp and with the talk, because these are people we get for drag them along the process. Don't you say they no one for join the process, but we'll forcefully drag them along, all right? We'll drag them along the process. Okay, so make I just put things in perspective, all right? So Salone people then get to understand why we are where we are, okay?
So tell me, that's why we're asking you the question. Tell me now. Let me get them clearly.
So we get this conversation sometime in August, okay? September, we start the process of getting the tablets, okay? We thought it was going to be an easy roller coaster, all right, to get the tablets, let's say Lyon and all of Dundee, going to October and all of that, okay? Along the line, sometime in October, we had a change of leadership, okay? We had a change of leadership in the KNBS, okay? The KNBS are the Kenyan National Bureau of Statistics, then changed the Director General. We even had an MOU signed in place, laid down, all right, saying they loan we X amount of tablets, okay, and all of that.
So what is not equipment where Stats SL through development partners or partners could have procured and then become property of Stats SL?
So I'm coming. These ones we even have, if we are to go by what the Kenyan president said, these were donated to us, unquote donated to us. So it means we could have it as ours, okay? Those small processes, then they will go happen, okay? Now, so when that change of leadership happened, I just want to put things in perspective, John. When that change of leadership happened, the new person will take over as the Director General, just like we have the Statistician General. He may get a feeling, say, no, I'm a new person here, and that kind of stuff there. If I had met this MOU for make we loan 20,000 tablets, so we started the process all over again. All right, I'm coming.
Okay, yeah, I know you want to learn.
Okay.
The public, the subjects where statistics being for target, they keep them informed of this process as it happens, that there's a change in leadership, that the process don't slow down because the tablets are not going to be available, the evidence supposed to be available. Oh no, John,
that is not something where, these were discussions between two institutions, all right? You go call.
But I mean, for slow down on a
of course,
considerably.
But these were discussions between two institutions, all right? And you also get bureaucracies within institutions. You get diplomatic discussions back and forth and all of that. Not so every mail where you and somebody exchange, you go put out there for let somebody see. No. All right. You also get ethical considerations, okay, where you look at where it comes to things like that. So as we were getting along, all right, we realized, say, apart from just the tablets and the COVID, other externalities, we couldn't do the census. All right. So we deferred the census, okay, from December 4th to April, okay, thinking this process would be able to cross it along the line, okay. Now, fast forward, January, February, we still had issues. Now, agreed we don't sign the MOU, all right, but then releasing the tablets, it now became a national security concern. Okay, they say, according to the KNBS, for make them release that amount of tablets to countries in Africa, it gave to be cleared by the person when are the chairman of the Security Council. And the chairman of the Security Council happened to be the president of the Republic of Kenya.
So how starts
right?
SL? So how starts?
So how we do that?
So hold on. How starts SL walk into all that maze day?
No. We're not walking into maze.
Hold on. Of getting first of all getting the approval. I mean, institutions from time to time can change leadership.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a change of leadership, but then walking to all of that, it become a national security concern, and getting into this maze of getting approval from national security boss. How did Stats SL walk into? So let me ask the initial question: could this not be a situation where, through development partners, these devices could have been procured independently, so that they become a property of Stats SL.
All right, so
rather than you get for rely on somebody else to provide, and of course, you get for set your own conditions.
Okay, so I go come to the development partners then you say, but I talk about how we get into RAM. Okay, as you say, we don't get into RAM. All right, processes and procedures place we day. Okay, processes and procedures of one organization place with it, and also regulations we get for do with COVID place with it. Now, where even we get to a point where they don't approve them, Kenya has had over 6 lockdowns. All right, since that time to this time. As we talk now, Kenya they on lockdown. Okay, now it been take with precedent where it get to that point where they say the Attorney General's office in Kenya say we cannot move these tablets from Sierra Leone. Not only Sierra Leone, by the way, it's not only Sierra Leone. They loaned 5 countries. All right, we they expect say it will be a donation because the president in words and even the KNBS they say a donation. We expecting it to be converted to a donation. 5 countries: Mauritius, Botswana, South Sudan, Liberia, Sierra Leone. 5 countries. All right. So not to be just we they go through that turmoil day. It was us and other countries going through that. Okay. Now, so it get to a point where they say for making a loan, then let them release the tablet and it had to be approved by the president. It took our president, Julius Marabio, to call the president of Kenya for tell him say, okay, we get a situation where it really urgent for we. Maybe other countries it is not urgent, but for we have timelines we are running towards and everything of that stuff. In fact, that was why on the 1st of April, all right, formally, Kenya said we want for display, them prowess it and they don't grow and all of that. They did the big ceremony, loaning 5 countries in Africa 45,000 tablets. Of that, Sierra Leone got 20,000 of the 45,000 tablets. Okay, we get 20,000. Then through an aid memoir, formally, the tablets then give to we High Commission in Kenya on the 7th of April. All right. So from the 7th of April, before this time, we now get to a point where now for make we get the tablets here, we couldn't get them in time to this place. Okay. We get 1,000 tablets we come last week Wednesday. Those came for test purposes, all right? But we still have 19,000. UNFPA, we are one of the partners, we don't commit themselves for actually bring their tablets over and they work on them. Now, so the development partners, all right? You say, why we not for our approach development partners? you know, we already do approach development partners for do lots of things for we. By the way, World Bank, when a major development partner, and they fund this census and don't invest in excess of $6 million in this census. So we approached them. So we approached UNFPA.
So I
also tell you, say we approach UNFPA for tablets for even the cartographic work. But then they've got very limited tablets in country, even for the cartographic work. They get very limited.
So with the 1,000 tablets they will not receive now. Well, then tablet they are not so. If you listen to this on side, then we didn't have the content, so then tablet them for the game. This now they want to by phone.
Yes.
People
yes.
like actually hold now the hand for enter details.
Yes.
Within when I don't go on test within the talent, are they clean technically? Are they ready?
Yeah.
You know
these tablets.
They generate error if you key in data.
At all. We don't check them. Fortunately, we get the CS Pro consultant. When I work on the Kenyan census, we run through them, go through them. Of course, you know, say 10 and they will something don't lay down for long. It might have issues and all of that. The 1,000 we can they are okay. We don't test, okay. We they work on a situation where we get for can start provisioning, but we have to provision not only 1,000. But 20,000 tablets.
So how much more time this get for really require for get the tablets, get the test run on all 19,000, position them. How much more time?
Provision them. Okay. So
position them.
Okay, position them for the census.
Yes.
All right. So from waiting the experts then tell we. All right. And this is something. I also make this clear, John. Way from March. Late February, early March, we started to have signs that we may have to defer the census. I'll tell you why. Okay? We had consultants that we come, all right, where then tell we say, if we want for provision this tablet or then tablet here, what's worst case? First of all, for me, when I put the cap inside, it will take you guys 4 weeks. All right? Okay? And then doing the provisioning now, all right, getting the CS Pro into it will take you 4 weeks. Doing the provisioning will take you another 4 weeks. That is 2 months. So we started to have skepticism right from that moment.
Marcella.
But let me tell you, I'll tell you this, John, before you bring Marcella in, right? When you're there in that kind of situation, you also have to account to people, all right? And you get procedures and processes also for get certain things done, okay? So we needed to see, okay, let's try we level best. Let's get to that point where we can no longer do it, all right? Then we can now say we get another option, okay? Let us try as best as we can to get this tablet here. That was the first thing. We couldn't get them here, all right? So eventually the tablets then give it there on the 7th of April, and we are where we are today. But importantly, as a country, we for be happy, all right? Why I say we for be happy? We get a situation where the MOU we originally signed was to be a loan, all right? The Kenyan president and KNBS now they say it will be a donation because there's everyone for express, you know, or try for showcase their might, okay? Right, so the tablet would have cost us. It would have cost us, John, in excess of $6-7 million to procure.
We go count to that celebration day, but you know, think this whole movement from the first date, in fact, the misstep. With, like Marcella say, with the getting the legal, the statutory instrument they tabled, misstep with the first date, misstep with the second date. Go mean say now there would be no reason for even celebrate the fact say we're given 20,000 tablets. You come later on, Marcella.
So I listened to Samuel, and as I say, I really worried why we're not able to sit down as a country, because every other person for realize now say governance is not just about government, but it's about all the critical interlocutors in the state-citizens relationship. We involve civil society, it involve media, it involve elected representatives, traditional authorities, religious leaders, and ordinary citizens. If we as civil society, we talk say we need actionable procedures, put calendar in simple terms, let time la put also. calendar design.
So are you suggesting
procedure.
that there was no existing calendar?
In fact, that's not the first thing we're talking about, that
Yeah.
August program. I said, where is the census calendar? If we get a calendar, they will be for interrogate them. That each of them processes there, you need this amount of time.
Sam, is there a calendar now?
You
or now that the postponement happened?
We had timelines, John.
Was it shared with civil society?
In fact, we had the press conference. So we shared then calendar the day. Unfortunately, one of the press conferences, Marcella's team didn't show up. All right. The other time we had, unfortunately, we invited Marcella. Okay. Personally, I called her because I be wale come. Okay. Marcella and in team for some reason thought they were not going to be part and parcel of the process. Okay. So at that particular gathering day, and I would tell you, you can fact check with the media, you can cross check with the media houses rather. Okay. We showed them the calendar. We even printed it and gave it to them.
Marcella,
well, let me tell you, calendars are bound to
by
change.
chance, you don't see calendar.
In fact, Samuel is very good at informing, making sure that he sends every single document. The point where me they raise really is not about when the calendar comes out and it's about how the calendar comes out. You know, a lot of things then for inform them processes, and if it be done in a collaborative manner. The whole thing where me they say with this is that the setting up of the committees, how transparent were those? It was in those committees all here for emanate. Where what's in the happen? So if problem come, it's going to be a national problem. It's not going to be a stats problem. The quick challenge can also is every one of us will be hanging our heads to solve it. Now I make what they say, una open up, una clear this thing. We need to understand how do we do it as a country, not to one institution. And if somebody raise an issue, an institution don't raise an issue, say, una let's statutory instruments in parliament from August. Statutory instruments only. That one they don't do. We come back, we put a date for December. We said December not feasible. Oh. They said no, because we're doing a digital census. We go in electronics. Now, even the electronic devices not in country. There you say they go electronic. You're going to do a negotiation. We effort. You know how negotiation can be protracted. So one thing we make effort say honest is an honest truth. Sierra Leone is our country. I not even get a hat for Sierra Leone.
But Marcella, before you land on that, but let me ask. So if everything is in place, let's say in the next 2 weeks, Statistics Sierra Leone receive the equipment, then get all the planning done. They announce a new date. Are we ready? Are we in place? Would you say people should go ahead and be part of the activity or the event where they take place and get the census done?
That was what I was coming to. Me will encourage Statistics Sierra Leone, right? There's nothing wrong to come to the table. Look at, in fact, now Parliament in all of this now go blame. I will blame them because Parliament failed for set the tone for reconcile this situation. Failing for set the tone for able to say yes, there's a problem. How will they move on as a country? And the show will happen. The showdown on Monday really don't set a bad tone for let people get this sort of confidence rebuilding where the process need. So now from the first step, Parliament for try for make sure say within the parliamentary framework, then get 4 different political parties, then get traditional leaders, then get independent candidates. Let them build first a parliamentary consensus. May them make sure say that statutory instrument where they in twain, where chair middle, now a symbol for sure say the process is not consolidated. Let them get fine clean paper where they show the record straight. But Parliament lobbying is a critical function. Yeah. Get people there and put them at table and discuss the heart and matter of Sierra Leone. Let's come out for once with a winnable situation. Win-win for Sierra Leone. Not to a situation where everybody feels say this is our census, now that one day their own census. No, this is a Sierra. Now that we are adamant for people to understand that even the language around the census should change. Right? We don't call on statistics.
What is wrong about the language? What's wrong about the language?
The last census been bad. This census now they can't correct the last one. And so as soon as you make the frame within the Andy, and you know this is a divided and polarized society,
Sam, have you
the
said,
census
Sam,
don't go
have you said,
us versus them.
Sam, have you said that as statistics, Sierra Leone? There are a few areas. I mean, you agree the other day that few places at Marcella mentioned percentage as well, over 50% of some enumeration areas, and they will not be accounted for.
We don't say the last census been bad. We say the last census had gaps. All right. It was not the population figure where we question. We question the disaggregation of the data. All right. Now what happened, and I will explain that. Take me time explain the famble. At the village level. Okay.
Before you explain, let's just prompt, and so listeners will know that this is crucial conversation on Afriradio. You can send me your comments to 1053 from any Africell line. You can also send me your comments, drop them on Facebook. We'll get the comments read for we get Marcella and Sam and Sumana response. Sam come out na statistics Sierra Leone in the director of communications. We get Marcella. Sam Basiseri come out na new, but also na the executive director for campaign for good governance. So they talk about census postponed implications and other questions they be asked. Sam, you were saying something about the previous census. Okay,
so before I put them into perspective as to the gaps we've been there, just quickly allow me. We get 3 types of localities. We get what we call single EA locality or type 1. All right, that now where you get a situation where you get a village or a particular place where exactly they between the threshold of one enumeration area, 80 to 120 households, you go exactly able for make them up. One place or one town or one place, one side people and they inhabit, all right? We're exactly equal to one enumeration area. You also get multi-EA locality, where you get multiple enumeration areas in one locality. For example, Freetown, we can also call land type 2. Okay, Freetown. Inside Freetown, you will get several enumeration areas, several 80 to 120 households. Then we get the multi-locality EA, where they actually you get for put several localities together for make you able to form one EA. We can also call on type 3. All right, what's in that they basically mean that, and then they come on with the villages. You get tongue and village that will not reach 80 to 120 household. So you get for put maybe 1 ton, 2 ton, 3 ton together for make you get the threshold of 80 to 120 households where they make an enumeration area. Now, so that is where the problem lied.
But I don't correct.
All right.
But I don't correct Dan now, and I don't do nothing for him.
No, now the problem in there. And let me tell you,
no, the question
this was identified.
So the question that they ask now, now that they don't be corrected as in, or I don't correct them, and going forward now be denting and they will not be one for look at.
No, now then they want for correct as it is right now. John Kalangba maybe you say you come out, okay? All right. If you ask we for the population figure of Kalangba normal, if Kalangba na 80 to 120 households, if you not reach 80 to 120 households, you know able make one enumeration area. Maybe Kalangba we get other places for make we get one enumeration area join with Kalangba, and you want to go do some development there, we might not give you the population of Kalangba. All right. Okay. So that is the case for almost 60% of the country. But I'll tell you something. Interestingly, this was not a deliberate act by anybody. These were technical mistakes made by people and we do the last census. All right, it was not deliberate. We know that day because we check them out. Professor Usman Sanko picked this up inside August of 2018. All right, if you write formally to the then UNFPA country rep, asking her, do ya this supposed to work on this census in 2015? Can you have him here? Then we can look at this figure. We have a situation Usai we're not able to account for some population, disaggregated population figures for some villages and partners that they come. We cannot give them data. Can we have him here? The guy came here, spent 2 months with us. You don't see the guy recommend. He said no way, no day. Pass when I go na the field, go collect the data. Now, let's tell you the problem with that. All right. If the data, if for example, say the map of Sierra Leone, it was one part of Sierra Leone. Usai we get this problem. One part. You shape Salon into 2. You just get one part where are they this problem day. It would have been, we would have just gone, we would have done a census, a survey. We correct them. But these are scattered all over Sierra Leone.
Sam, before you
so
continue,
why not do a census?
Sam, before
why
you
not
continue,
do a midterm census?
Before you continue,
before
you continue, let me just mention that we'll have a reloaded of this edition of census, so we can get enough time for talk about the issues. They're really plenty.
Yeah.
So we get enough time for talk about it. I'll not give you all the time. Marcella Bohan for make a few comments, and then we will take some of the comments and questions we don't come in on the show.
See, John, what they talk about, how do we use national processes to bring about social cohesion through participatory method? You see what in Samuel talk just now? He say the mistakes that will be made in 2015 were technical mistakes, and it scatter across the country. Can statistics Sierra Leone give us a gap analysis? Because right now, I tell you, the conversation where they go on is very divisive. It's a conversation around an APC versus SSLPP census, and that is why institutions of the state like Statistics Sierra Leone not for allow themselves for be caught up. Now, technical institution, they're not for allowed for be caught up in that debate. Okay. We have asked for this. I will even quote and I will press release as against 29 July 2020. We say, whilst New agrees with the president on the value of a census brings to national development, New believes that the reasons for such a process must be transparent and clearly communicated to the nation. Currently, the gaps of the last census have not been clearly outlined and explained, and the measures taken to avert the same explained. Today will not get that gap analysis. This morning, I they see institutions, then they release the talk about somebody just pull a statement where they say something about I don't forget even the title where he call them. For the show say this particular 2015 census, now this and this nine being problem. Let's have Statistics Sierra Leone as the official institution give us the gap analysis, and that is what will be holding them accountable.
Sam, do you have
for.
one?
We have. Say after that they put on a public.
Make her also tell you this.
You try for explain.
Yes. Unfortunately, but you know, with all due respect to my sister, you know, my big sister Marcella, they don't ever really go by any of the sessions. All right, New. So we present a map where clearly they outline the gap analysis.
Do you have that document?
I even have it on my phone.
Can you please share that document with me?
I can share it with you.
Please
share.
So
next problematic areas
Sam,
where the gaps are.
Do me a favor, please share. So next edition we'll get enough time for before.
I will do that. So we have that. Let's say we know they work in secrecy. All right, a lot of things and they not true because the media what they deal with. Me as somebody who is very media savvy. I get a boss. My boss is in Andrew Johnny and Professor Sanko. Now media savvy people. They want to put as much information. Marcella ask him. I sent almost everything to her.
I have acknowledged
almost everything I'll send to her.
All right. Let's take some
quickly, John.
Let's take some comments, Sam. I know. Let's take some comments.
I know that the time I don't talk about the talk that done with you.
Go ahead. Do that for just 1 minute, and then I can take some questions.
Now, this are still there on the gap analysis. When we go Statistics Sierra Leone, they communicated it to us personally, and my team. We were all convinced as to waiting at the reason for this 59% of enumeration area were scattered across the country. But what I am saying, the communication within at the public, not to wait till you they talk so.
Okay.
Not to within at the public.
All right.
It has not been explained to the communities, to individuals. Some people don't come with contrary information.
Okay.
They say waiting the 2015 census not be, and it creates chaos for this process.
Okay.
And if by doing that, other sets of people will think, say, this current census, midterm census, is a process to alienate others.
Okay.
Now, una get the responsibility for make sure, say, the gaps are communicated so that people understand the reason for the census. It's not for me. You explain to me. I've done before now. You don't send on my phone.
Exactly.
Not take else need for no.
Sam, you don't send on your phone?
I will send on your phone.
You have to.
You know, I will send on your phone. You have to. Also say this.
You have
really,
but hold on.
To be honest, in fairness to us, we go na 14 districts in this country. Maybe also our leaders at the community level also need to step up. All right, we held stakeholders meetings. We explain these things. We send these things to them. Una take them back to our communities. Unfortunately, maybe it didn't go. But let me tell you, it's my responsibility.
Unfortunately, also,
all right.
I mean,
it's my responsibility and the responsibility of statistics.
In terms of
we go get all the information we people need out there.
Sam,
we'll get it out.
That's why partnership
in terms
is
of
important.
in terms of the leadership,
and that is why we are having you in a meeting tomorrow.
Right, let's take,
I called you.
Let's take,
lobbying that we have a meeting. All right, and we'll have a meeting tomorrow.
Right, the hits in the studio, they show the status of the census activities.
Yeah,
but Sam, hold on. I know it's friendly, obviously. I mean, obviously, but Sam, I want to say, that the sometimes engaging community leaders in terms of the waiting and waiting and they pass on can be completely different.
Yeah.
There are times like Marcella, they say you have to frame your own message and you be your own messenger because it's difficult that now you're saying it seems
and
like
we are worried that STAT has not made any effort to debunk those conspiracy theories. They are all over the place.
All right, quick comments. Now, the very point that Statistics Sierra Leone has to loan digital equipment from the Kenyan counterpart, the KNBS, that's the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, has rendered them unprepared for the process, a rush process to correct the 2015 faulty said process. Some text missing there, but another comment is saying, I'm calling on the people of Sierra Leone to exercise patience because it's very important for us to cooperate with the census workers. This time we need our honorables to educate us about the census. God bless Sierra Leone. Just the point to raise a little while ago.
Okay, so just in line with that, I can also tell you, say, the Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Development, all right? We don't get some kind of
Sam, let's face it.
You see,
they do communication on behalf as we speak.
Sam, my brother, let's face it. The size,
if you building the process properly.
Okay.
10 minutes more. All right, my producers are giving us 10 minutes more. So, Sam, in terms of the ratio of getting one parliamentarian to in constituency, it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
It will be intensive campaign for them. And I can tell you for certain, they cannot spend that amount of money for take census information like they will go on for go Ghana votes.
Okay.
It's impossible. So if you hold a meeting with them, you sit down with them, you rather spend on your own communication and platform that we are available for reach out to people so that people are not go there in the dark. But let's move on. Comments are still coming in, and producers said we can go 10 minutes for make sure we get all the concerns raised. Now, Marcella, again to you, new released a very strong statement demanding for more openness in the process. Unara begin for Sudan now statistics they open up a little bit for able to get more information to Una for able for
she would say yes.
Una they probe more.
Samuel, I mean the truth of the matter is they reached out to us, and honestly, this work we are doing is for Sierra Leone, right? It's a big sacrifice. But one of the values where we all as an institution now for ensure say democracy and good governance we strengthen them. We need to participate by anything we know they add value. If we see signs say Statistics Sierra Leone, that way then we don't make and force. We then say December, we tell them December not feasible. We went to them, we sit in a table for 3 hours explaining why December is not feasible. They said, well, we'll not respond to you now, we'll get back to you. Today. But yesterday, with Samuel call, say we want to meet
information to
so we ready for support a process where they add value to Salone, but with the pull hand per any process where we see not add value. We are ready to support the process. We'll go give with inputs. We go give with inputs for let the process okay. We get platforms that will go help them for share credible information. We're not going to join Pansontin where people they go shape information we're not correct. We're not going to join Panam because in the final analysis it is detrimental to our country, and we're not going to join by a situation where they bring Salon down. We go join by a situation where elevate Salon. John, let's talk this quickly before we come out Nami aid. And this is something we need for known. In one of my pieces that I write, I call it over celebration of technology. I don't see at the very Kenya. Also, I mean I've been governance expert for one election.
right? I still say technology failed them. All the Kim's machine no work. Where it results them no information or translate. So investment, huge investment. Why I say investment in a time, not to money now. Investment need for be put for examine then tablets then they clear them up. Site verification. We get site with connectivity in an issue. Make sure say because in the process.
But Sam, the tablet they give for use GPS, not to mobile network.
Yeah,
they're gonna use GPS.
Yeah, and
General
also let me
positioning.
also just say this: the tablets and they go online and offline. All right. So if you go in a place where you don't get internet, you can go offline. All right.
Yeah.
The tablet loaded with the questionnaire and the maps and everything. You can take GPS, coordinate, and do everything. When you can't online, when you go sign it today, you upload them online. So that is not a problem. Now, if people then where they follow the cartographic work, Marcella, it would have been nice to go to the field.
No,
where you see the cartographic work. You will be amazed. No, honestly, you will be amazed. This thing is working wonders because at the same earpad we get for use for the sensors, it is working wonders. Go monitor the cartographic
let me tell
work.
you what it means.
Let
right?
you see
when you
how
talk,
things
when
are
you
working.
talk, say they work wonders. People know this. Then will tell you say. Of course, fisherman always saying fish water. It's the people themselves who would say this thing fine or they work wonders. But how many people know that cartographic marking is going on in this country right now? I am saying to you, put more investment in this. Make sure the institution gets people to understand that a national process is going on, and for make sure say then committees there so inclusive of the demography of this country.
All right, send your comments then quickly into 1053 from any Africell line. One more time, 1053 from any Africell line. If you watch me on Facebook, drop your comments, ask questions about census 20. Well, it's supposed to happen in 2020, moved on to 2021. Hopefully, it might be held before the end of the year. But Sam clearly mentioned, if you missed that point, he said that when they receive the a consultant advice that when they receive the equipment, it give or take a week, 4 weeks for able for configure all of them. Then I will put the KPD, right? And after you put after you put the KPD, you get 4 weeks more
for provision.
Every one of them. So that in now 2 months already. Now we're in April. So that you know when, let me ask you again, when he says when are the tablets coming? Ustem not get information, see the tablet then go reach
we they expect the tablets, we they put lots of pressure on UNFPA for getting tablet, and I don't want to be very conclusive in saying tablet and go come this time, but we they expect the tablets for there, all right, and we go get. And let I also tell you what we want to do is we don't want to even give a date out with the tablet and not there. We want the tablet and there, the process starts. By then the cartographic work go almost undone. We expect for do the cartographic work and done in the next 3 to 4 weeks. When we're done with that, the tablets are here. We know say we don't hit some critical milestones. Then we can now start. Okay, quick one, John. You know, Marcella still emphasized on committees and inclusiveness. I just want to make this clear. All right. The advisory committee, when at the highest decision-making body, and I have this document here, people can look at it, okay? This, now the advisory committee members that this way attend, this was the first meeting. Let me go through some of the members.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to. So let me ask you, Usai not draw them from. How am I get there?
So we have a member. We have a member. Marcella, you can take a look. This person represented SLPP, all right? This person represented APC, you see it, all right? This person represented NGC, all right? I don't want to call the names.
But you think Marcella in question, Sammy, you think Marcella in question?
I don't want to begin call the names.
But you think Marcella in comment or question where he is or concern not be about getting the political parties involved?
No, not just political parties. But
I said the demography of
I know, not just political parties, but political parties are critical part.
Okay, so let's take some comments.
All right, and because of the partisan.
Sammy, let's take some comments. Interesting how fast time they fly. Now, Jocelyn Williams is saying, "Where's the project roadmap? This is a disgrace." That is what Jocelyn on Facebook is saying. Jocelyn Williams, handout is not a remedy for failure. That is what Jocelyn, they say, I guess he's talking about the tablets that Udetoxi and would receive from the Kenyan. Tennessee, Samuel Tennessee is saying, Marcella plus 12 others there on a listen to Andrew Lavely in view on the midterm census beyond election. If not all agree, say, on a trust madam, or in expertise and professionalism on a continue for trust them with this census. That is what Samuel Tennessee is saying in a comment on Facebook now. Badriatu Ture Algali is saying, if you really follow the start of this whole process, you could know Usai knew the camp from at the start, then miss for legalize the process before they start, and now then they try for lay the instrument in the parliament after they don't go over 50% of the cartographic mapping. So please let us focus on the process and timeliness of the whole midterm census. I think Badriatu is just supporting your points, the points that you don't make so far now the show, Marcella. Ishmael is saying, I think census is not what we need at the moment as Sierra Leoneans. We need good hospitals, basic necessities. People are suffering in the country. Does census, or is, it is saying if census get for feed we. That's some of the comments. State Shoaib Sahid Kamara is saying state institutions must maintain neutrality. It is critical. That is what Shoaib is saying. Marcella, I'll take you on from that point.
Yeah, I totally agree with the last person we takes. I think this is where we keep missing it. And I really like where at the talk about inclusivity, Samuel carry political parties. I work for an institution. Outside my work at NAW, my work is with CGG, and we like political parties because political parties are a bedrock of democracy. But what would they talk? Persons with disability, women. How this, we not say the law I prescribe for the council. The council is not something I have so much of a problem with because now the law prescribed for them. But other committees then they let people feel like say this is a national process and let we own them as a Sierra Leonean process. I hope say then talk here what they talk, people then go work on them. If people they not like the last time talk, nobody no listen, we see them. Well, una don't go tell una don't but una head now una come back una can call
Sam, the law
we work as a country.
All right, Marcella. Thank you very much. Sam, the law prescribed that when the instrument be laid in a parliament, you ever go through period 21 days before make it become a document way or a valid process where it will be approved, and 21 days now almost like a month that now. Put the technical bits, put the configuration of the tablet there. So put all things together. We're talking about possibly 3 months. When are we getting this activity done?
Okay, John. So really, me and we as an institution we don't have to comment on the political bits. All right, with the left handed we supervisory ministry and the Attorney General's office.
But the whole process tied clearly.
I'm coming. Yes. Bits. But the instrument really is for the enumeration, not for the cartography. That also make that clear. The instrument is for the enumeration and not for the cartography. But somebody mentioned neutrality. Make I just give you a clear example of we being a very neutral and non-partisan or political institution. In 2019, we had a situation with somebody from overseas, all right, the diaspora. He come and apply for a topmost position, director, na Statistics Sierra Leone. Fair and square, that person they win that position, they now be the best candidate. 3-4 weeks down the line, his picture was all over social media contesting for a certain position within the certain political party. You wouldn't believe it. He had just told us, I had to go back, I had to go come with my family and everything. Then withdraw the application. That is to tell you, say, as an institution, if for example we work for a data institution, then clearly visibly you show yourself from politics, they would say you are skewing the data towards your political party. All right, and that is not something we are doing. I tell you for free. We are as neutral as possible.
Let me read a comment that might make you smile, but unfortunately, that's how we're going to come to the end of the show because time is not our best ally. Look at the time now; it's 7:10. We should have ended at 7 o'clock. It shows that this is a conversation where we need for continue.
Yeah.
Like we've always done, we'll have it reloaded and bring you guys again to the studio with additional voices. Now, Director Samuel, information is credible. Stats is reliable in the job. Keep it up. I really enjoyed the conversation. Well, that is what views, obviously.
And committees. One more thing. I just want for saying
Sam, you don't have time.
No.
You don't have time.
Inclusivity.
You don't have time.
Because Marcella is emphasizing on inclusivity. I'll tell you for free. Apart from the advisory committee, all right, you not just get political parties. You get all the ministries, departments, and agencies. You get international partners. We also get the technical committee. All right. We also get international partners and every other person. We have the publicity committee, even Sludge. All right, it's part and parcel. All right, no, not so by law. This is practical. As we speak, we don't get meetings. Marcella, you couldn't go there. Maybe in dynamic, you don't know.
Sam,
but
that's mandatory for Sludge to be part of the process and get a representative immediately.
No. So it's not mandatory.
It is. They didn't have council representative. He didn't have the council. Well, that's how we're gonna come to the end of today's show. Well, we'll continue to talk about census. We'll continue to talk about until it happens. We'll continue to talk about the process.
And I bet you after tomorrow we'll go meet with Marcella and in team. When Marcella comes, why do you National Elections Watch, Marcella will get a different tone.
Why go on for?
It will get a different.
Why you go on for bet me? Why go on for bet?
No. It will get because we go open up things central around for make you understand. It will get a different perspective.
Thank you very much.
Than it is right now.
Thank you very much.
My sister, where I respect so much.
Sam, thank you very much, Sam Anzumana from Statistics Sierra Leone, and thank you very much, Marcella Samba from New and Campaign for Good Governance. Well, that's how we come to the end of Crucial Conversation today. Thank you very much also for watching us on Facebook. You can share the link for others when we, Sam, go before watch and go through and recap some of the things that we will talk about census postpones, of course, and plenty of questions we ask around. Declare that the equipment are not here. 20,000 of them and get 2 months for able to get the process of configuring them ready. That means say it might perhaps be another 2 months where census not go happen. You also go you also get the instrument where an attempt was made for it to be laid on Monday. Unfortunately, it wasn't. The process ended up being chaotic, and like Marcella say, the instrument was actually torn right through the middle, into bits, and it should say, the process not even start off yet. Well, when is it going to be laid? President might summon another emergency parliamentary sitting for get it done, and Parliament go approve 21 days get for take. How long will go for the forget the census will be done? Crucial Conversation it is being right here on Afriradio. Thanks to his sponsors, AfriCell, to my production team, John Whitfield, Abdul Karim Sisse, Alaji Mansari, Alusan Joseph Mansari, Yanji Debo Sisse, Queen Fatmata Queen Turiel, and we studio technician John Basiru Kamara, to we Facebook broadcast team Sal TV. Mina John Conte wish you all the very best. Start Sierra Leone. A lot more work need for be done. Get people informed. You cannot sign out after I don't say anything.
The instrument was laid. Just one point.
It was laid but torn.
It was laid.
It was laid but torn. Is it going to be approved? To meet again for the reloaded version of Crucial Conversation. My name is John Conte. Let's talk about the things you want to talk about here on Crucial Conversation. We're still going to talk about prostate cancer very soon. It's very important that our men get to know that these things, obviously, a lot of time people like say them back parties possing, but there's a medical condition to that. We will talk about all of that as well, and several other topics we will bring on Crucial Conversation. This is the second edition for this year, and that's how we're rolling. Till we get live on TV with Crucial Conversation. My name is John Conte, wishing you all the very, very best. Bye-bye.
Wondering how to cash in using AfriMoney? Here are a few easy steps. Go to the nearest AfriMoney agent. Tell them how much you want to deposit. Give the agent your number and the cash. You will receive an SMS notification from 161 confirming the deposits. To check and confirm your balance, dial star 161 star 9 star 1 hash and enter your PIN. Remember, you do not have to pay extra for deposits. Cashing is free. Wondering how to cash in using AfriMoney? Here are a few easy steps. Go to the nearest Afrimoney agent. Tell them how much you want to deposit. Give the agents your number and the cash. You will receive an SMS notification from 161 confirming the deposits. To check and confirm your balance, dial *161 *9*1# and enter your PIN. Remember, you do not have to pay extra for deposits. Cashing is free.